Definition of Kamma. The term Kamma literally means action or work. In the context of Dhamma teachings, however, the definition is restricted to mean actions accompanied by intention or volitional actions. Actions that occur without intention are not classified as Kamma in this context. This definition of Kamma, however, is very broad. To truly understand the meaning of this term, its definition should be examined from different angles or presented as different layers of meaning. A direct or precise examination of Kamma reveals that its essence or source is cetana, intention, volition, deliberation, determination to act. The force or agent behind action. Intention is chief, defining a person's aims and purposes, and determining the direction of all human actions. It initiates action and all forms of conceptual and creative activity. It thus lies at the heart of Kamma. This is confirmed by the Buddha's words. It is intention because that I call Kamma. Chetanam bhikkhave kamma vadami. With intention, people then act by way of body, speech and mind. B. A broader perspective, taking into account other factors within the dynamics of human activity, reveals that volitional action, Kamma, acts as the leading agent in creating the structure and pathway of people's lives. Kamma in this sense is equivalent to or is referred to as volitional formations, sankhara, which can also be translated as fashioners of the mind. This interpretation is found, for instance, as one of the 12 links independent origination. The term sankhara refers to those mental factors or properties with intention, cetana, as leader that shape the mind as wholesome, unwholesome or neutral. They determine one's thoughts, speech and physical actions, resulting in various kinds of intentional action. In brief, sankhara may be described as mental conceptualization. Yet even here, intention is considered the principal factor. The Buddha occasionally defined sankhara simply as intention, cetana. C. An even wider perspective examines human beings as a whole, conventionally referred to as individual persons, who engage with the external world and have responsibility for their own actions. Kamma in this context refers to thoughts, speech and physical actions, behavior for which people must reap results, regardless of whether these results occur in the immediate or present or further removed in the past and future. This aspect of Kamma is the most frequently mentioned in the texts, appearing in teachings addressed to specific individuals. Such teachings encourage people to take responsibility for their personal actions and to perform wholesome deeds, as is confirmed by these words of the Buddha. Monks, there are these two things that cause distress, which two? There is the case of the person who has not done what is good, has not done what is wholesome, and has not performed meritorious deeds which counteract fear. Instead, he has done what is evil, savage and cruel, thinking, I have not done what is wholesome, I have done what is evil. He is distressed. It is noteworthy that in the modern time, this is the most common interpretation of Kamma, especially in reference to past actions. D. The broadest perspective is to examine general human activities evident in human society. Here, Kamma refers to earning a livelihood, conducting one's life, and engaging in various activities which result from intention and conceptualization. This interpretation is described by the Buddha in the Vaseta Sutta. You should know, Vaseta, that whoever makes his living among men by cattle herding is called a farmer. He is not a Brahmin. Whoever makes his living by varied crafts is called a craftsman. Whoever makes his living by trade is called a merchant. He who makes his living by serving others is a servant. Whoever makes his living by stealing is called a robber. Whoever makes his living by arrows and swords is called a soldier. Whoever makes his living by priestly craft is called a chaplain. Whoever governs among men, the town, and the realm is called a king. He is not a Brahmin. One who has no mental impurities lingering in the mind, who clings no more, he is the one I call a Brahmin. One is not a Brahmin by birth, nor by birth a non-Brahmin. By action, Kamma, is one called a Brahmin. By action is one a non-Brahmin. By their acts, Kamma, work, occupation, behavior, lifestyle, are men farmers, craftsmen, merchants, servants, robbers, soldiers, chaplain, and even kings. This is how the wise see action as it really is. Seers of dependent origination, skilled in action and its results. Action makes the world go round. Action makes this generation of beings wander on. Similarly, in the Agana Sutta, then those beings who were elders met together and confided their troubles with one another. Sirs, various evils have arisen among us, giving rise to theft, accusations, lying, and the taking up of clubs and batons. Let this not be so. Suppose we were to appoint samadhi, consent to, a certain being who would admonish where admonishment was due, censure those who deserved it, and banish those who deserved banishment, and in return we would grant him a share of the grain. So they went to the one among them who was the most dignified, the most attractive, the most charismatic and awe-inspiring, and asked him to do this for them in return for a share of the grain, and he agreed. Because he was chosen by the people, the first regular title of Maha Samanta, great authority, came to be. Similarly, in the Chakravarti Sutta, monks, when the king did not furnish property to the needy, poverty became rife. From the growth of poverty, stealing increased. From the increase of theft, the use of weapons increased. From the increased use of weapons, the taking of life increased. And from the increase of killing, lying increased. Divisive speech, adultery, offensive speech, and trivial talk, covetousness and ill will, wrong view increased. Although one may define Kamma into these four distinct categories, one should remember that in each case, intention, cetana, lies at the heart of such actions. Intention leads people to engage with things and determines the manner of such engagement. It determines how people respond to things and how they alter or improve things. It determines whether one makes oneself a channel for expressing unwholesome qualities of greed, hatred, and delusion, or instead for expressing wholesome qualities in order to foster true well-being. All this is under the power of intention. Actions free from intention do not affect results within the domain of the law of karma. They are not classified as karma. Rather, they are matters pertaining to other laws of nature, in particular to physical laws, utu niyama. They are seen as equivalent to landslides or to a branch falling from a tree.